Only one car stopped that night, and it changed everything. The boy was barefoot, shaking, and barely 12. Cars sped past him like he didn't exist, until one finally pulled over, and Keanu Reeves stepped out. The highway stretched into the California dark, a ribbon of asphalt under a moonless sky. Headlights flashed, engines roared, but the world ignored the kid in the torn hoodie, curled up on the shoulder, his breath hitching with quiet sobs. Keanu's black SUV idled, hazards blinking. He'd been at a charity gala in L.A., still in a tailored suit, the kind that screamed Hollywood but felt wrong on him. He didn't like flash. Never had. He stepped onto the gravel, his boots crunching, and crouched a few feet from the boy. "Hey," he said, voice low, steady, like he was calming a spooked animal. "You okay?" The boy flinched, eyes wide, darting like he might bolt. His face was smudged with dirt, his knuckles scraped raw. "I'm fine," he mumbled, but his voice cracked, betraying him. Keanu didn't push. He pulled a blanket from his car, a half-eaten protein bar from his pocket. "Here. It's not much, but it's something." The boy hesitated, then took the bar, tearing into it like he hadn't eaten in days. "What's your name?" Keanu asked, sitting cross-legged on the ground, giving the kid space. "Eli," the boy said, barely audible. I ran away." Keanu's jaw tightened, but his face stayed soft. "From where?" Eli's eyes dropped. "Group home. It's bad." Keanu didn't ask for details. Not yet. He saw the fear, the kind that wasn't just from a cold night or an empty stomach. It was deeper, older. "Where you headed, Eli?" Keanu asked. The boy shrugged, shivering. "Anywhere but back." Keanu nodded, like he got it. Maybe he did. He'd had his own nights feeling like the world was too big, too heavy. "I can give you a ride somewhere safe," he said. "No cops, not yet. Just a place to warm up." Eli studied him, wary but desperate. Finally, he nodded. They drove in silence, the hum of the engine filling the space. Keanu glanced at Eli, now wrapped in the blanket, staring out the window. He didn't call the police. Something told him to wait, to listen first. The kid's story wasn't done unraveling, and Keanu wasn't ready to hand him over to a system that might fail him again. The diner glowed like a beacon in the pre-dawn haze, its neon sign buzzing, open 24 hours. Keanu led Eli inside, the bell jingling as they slid into a booth. The waitress, a tired woman named Margie, didn't blink at the Hollywood star or the scruffy kid. She just poured coffee and took their order, pancakes for Eli, black coffee for Keanu. Eli ate like he was afraid the food would vanish. Keanu watched, sipping his coffee, his mind flickering to his own past. A childhood of moving, of loss, of figuring out how to survive when the ground kept shifting. He saw himself in Eli's hunched shoulders, the way the kid gripped his fork like it was a lifeline. "You don't have to tell me everything," Keanu said, "but I'm here if you want to." Eli's eyes flicked up, guarded but softening. "The group home, they hid us. Locked us in rooms sometimes. I couldn't stay." His voice was small but steady, like he'd rehearsed it in his head 1,000 times. Keanu's chest tightened. He'd seen enough of the world to know Eli wasn't lying. "How long you been out?" he asked. 2 days, Eli said. "Stole some food. Slept in a park." Keanu leaned back, his calm masking the anger simmering inside. He thought of his sister, sick when they were kids, and how helpless he'd felt. He couldn't fix the world, but he could do something for this kid. "I know a place," he said. "A shelter. Good people. They'll keep you safe while we figure this out." Eli nodded, too tired to argue. By morning, Keanu had driven Eli to a private shelter outside L.A., one he'd quietly funded for years. He gave the director his number, told her to call if Eli needed anything. "I'll check in," he told Eli, crouching to meet his eyes. "You're not alone, okay?" Eli nodded, clutching the blanket Keanu had given him. Days later, the story leaked. A blurry photo of Keanu and Eli in the diner hit the tabloids. "Keanu Reeves rescues runaway," the headline screamed. The internet exploded, but Keanu went silent. No interviews, no statements. He didn't want the spotlight. He just wanted Eli to be okay. Months passed, and Eli's life changed. A foster family took him in, a couple who laughed easily and listened when he spoke. He started therapy, went to school, even joined the soccer team. A social worker, Carla, pieced it together. The shelter's funding, the therapy, the foster placement, all arranged anonymously, but the trail led back to a certain actor who never took credit. Keanu stayed away, but he checked in through the shelter's director. "Eli was healing," she said. He was drawing again, something he'd loved before the group home crushed it out of him. Keanu smiled at that, picturing the kid with a sketch pad, finding his way back to himself. One spring afternoon, Keanu parked across from Eli's school, blending into the crowd at a science fair. He saw Eli, taller now, presenting a model rocket with a grin that hadn't been there on that highway. Keanu's throat tightened. He wanted to say something, to tell Eli he was proud, but he didn't. The kid deserved a life without his shadow looming over it. He slipped away before anyone noticed. Back home, Keanu kept the story close, like a bruise he didn't want to touch. He'd lost people, his dad, his best friend, his love. Helping Eli felt like balancing the scales, even just a little. But he didn't expect the letter. It arrived at the shelter, forwarded to him in a plain envelope. Eli's handwriting was messy but deliberate. I don't know if you'll read this, but thank you. For stopping. For listening. I'm okay now. Keanu read it twice, then tucked it into a drawer. He didn't trust himself to reply. A year later, the youth charity gala filled a downtown L.A. ballroom with soft lights and softer voices. Eli, now 13, stood at the podium, his tie slightly crooked. He spoke clearly, telling his story without naming Keanu. Someone saw me when I thought I was invisible, he said. That's why I'm here. The crowd clapped, some wiping tears. Keanu sat in the back row, his face half hidden by a baseball cap. He hadn't planned to come, but the shelter's director had insisted. He listened, his chest heavy with something like pride. Eli's voice was strong, not the shaky whisper from that highway night. When the speech ended, Keanu stood to leave, but Eli's foster mom caught his eye, nodding toward the hallway. They met by a quiet corner, no cameras, no press. Eli looked up, startled, but smiling. You came, he said. Keanu shrugged, his own smile faint. Couldn't miss it. They didn't say much. Words weren't the point. Eli stepped forward, and Keanu hugged him, brief but tight. Keep going, kid, Keanu said, his voice rough. Eli nodded, eyes bright. As Keanu walked away, Eli's final words from the speech echoed in his mind. The night he stopped, he didn't just save me. He gave me back my voice.